Welcome back to the Forex Geek channel, traders. In this particular video, we are going to dive into a crucial aspect of Forex trading, and that is how to calculate pips in MetaTrader 4 and MetaTrader 5. All right. Now, understanding pips is essential for calculating your risk. Okay, it's actually very essential for calculating your risk, managing your trades, and ultimately making smarter decisions in the market. So whether you are a beginner or just need a quick refresher, this video is for you. Okay, let's just quickly jump right into it. First of all, let us quickly define what a pip is. Right? In Forex, a pip stands for percentage in point, literally, right? Remember that pip is spelled PIP, right? Okay, now PIP stands for percentage in point, or price interest point. Okay, and it is the smallest unit of price movement in a currency pair, literally the smallest unit of price movement. So for most currency pairs, a pip is usually the fourth decimal place. So here we can see that we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 decimal places, right? But a pip is calculated from the fourth decimal place. 1, 2, 3, 4. The fourth decimal place is where you calculate your pip from. Okay, but for some pairs like let me just add the USD JPY, usually the yen pairs, the yen pairs, pairs that involve the Japanese yen, like the USD JPY, a pip is the second decimal place, right? A pip, when it comes to Japanese yen pairs, is usually the second decimal. All right, the second decimal. Okay, so if you want to calculate pips, you start from the second decimal. All right, for Japanese yen pairs. Okay, so for example, all right, let's just let's go to a clean chart. Okay, now if Euro USD, for example, should move from 1.13, okay, let's just use a round number to make the calculation easier, right? Okay, so let's assume that it moves from 1.1300, right? This is where it moves, this is where it started, and then it ended at let's say it ended at 1.1301, right? So it's moved from 1.1300 to 1.1301. This is a 1 pip movement. Remember, I said that pips are calculated from the fourth decimal, right? In as much as we have 5 decimal places here, you start calculating your pips from the fourth. So if you have a movement from 00 to 01, that is 1 pip, all right? And that's going to be 000 to 010. Remember, because it is calculated from the fourth decimal place. All right. Now, understanding how these price movements work is crucial when setting your stop losses, take profits, and calculating your potential risk. Now, let us talk about how to calculate your pips in MetaTrader 4 and MetaTrader 5. Both platforms are almost identical when it comes to calculating pips. So it doesn't matter whether you are using MetaTrader 5 or whether you're using MetaTrader 4, just so that the pips calculation are the same. All right, but it's always important to know how to do it manually as well. All right, now for standard currency pairs, for example, the Euro USD, for most pairs like the Euro USD, a pip is equal to 0. All right, let me just be rewriting some things down. A pip is actually equal to 0.0001. All right, a pip is equal to 0.0001. This means that if the price moves from 1.1300 to 1.1301, that is a 1 pip change. All right, now let us go to the JPY currency pairs. An example is the USD JPY, all JPY currency pairs. All right. all JPY currency pairs, okay, those that usually have three figures before the decimal. Okay, so a pip in this case is equal to 0.01. That is for the JPY pairs. Okay, a pip is equal to 0.01 for the Japanese yen pairs. All right, so if the price moves from, okay, let's just use a round number. All right, let's use a round number. So let's say the price moves from 140 to 140.01. So if the price moves from 140, okay, let's just add the, let's just add the decimal here as well. 140.00. If price moves from 140.00 to 140.01, that is a 1 pip movement. All right, this is a 1 pip movement for the Japanese yen pair. So you should know the difference. All right, now let us break it down step by step in a way that you're going to understand it even better. All right, now in MetaTrader, the price of the currency pair will be displayed on the chart. Right, the price of the currency pair will be displayed on the chart, typically in the the top left corner. Right, you can see here the top left corner, or on the market watch window. Right, if you go to the market watch, you're going to see the ask and bid prices. Right, so you have to determine the pip movement. If the price moves by 0 points, that is if you're using the standard currency pairs like the Euro USD, if the price moves by 0.0001, that is 1 pip. If it moves by 0.01 in the JPY pair, that is 1 pip. So now both MT4 and MT5 come with a built-in tool that helps you calculate pips without doing the math manually. And here is how to use it. Okay, if you open your MetaTrader platform and go to the market watch window, you right click on the currency pair, whichever currency pair that you want to calculate the pips for. You right click on it and then you click on specification. Right, you will see the pip value for the the selected pair. All right, so we can see that we have important information here. These are for the sessions, and this is for the spread. Set spread is floating, and then here we can see digits showing that there are 5 digits for the Euro USD, right? Which is actually common for depending on your broker, though, depending on whether your broker is using 5 digits or 4 digits. Okay, and then let's see if there is any detailed information that we have here for pips to be specific. Okay, now based on what I can see here, I think this actually disappointed me, but when you come to the specification here, you can see different informations, but not specifically for pips. All right, not specifically for pips. Okay, yes, so let's just get back to our calculation manually. I have already given you the basics of how to calculate your pips. I have given you the basics already. I just wanted to check the specifications, to know if there is additional information that will make it easier to calculate pips. Okay, but since we don't exactly have that right now, just stick with the manual calculation. So maybe if you want to enter a trade, let's do a little bit practical. Let's be a little bit more practical, right? Let's be a little bit more practical. But before we do a little practical, let us actually talk about lot size and pip value, because that is also important. The pip value changes based on your lot size. If I am to enter a trade with 0.1 lot size and USD JPY moves from 140.00 to 140 to 140.01. We are not going to make the same profit. I'm not going to make the same profit with someone that enters with lot size 1. All right. So here is how to break here's how it breaks down. For standard lots, remember standard lot means 1, right? 1 lot. This is standard lot. In most currency pairs, a movement of 1 pip in a standard lot is worth $10. All right. It's in most pairs. Okay, in most pairs, not all pairs. In most pairs, a movement of 1 pip in a standard lot. A movement of 1 pip in a standard lot is actually equal to $10. All right. Then we have mini lot. All right. Remember that standard lot equal to 100,000 units. Standard lot is equal to 100,000 units. Then we have mini lot. In mini lot is equal to 10,000 units. 1 pip in a mini lot in most pairs is equal to $1. Now mini lot is 0.1. all right, this is 1 mini lot. 0.1 is 1 mini lot. 1.0 is 1 standard lot. Then we have micro lot. Micro lot is 0.01, right? Micro lot is 0.01, and micro lot is equal to 1,000 units. Micro lot is equal to 1,000 units. So 1 pip in a micro lot is actually worth $0.1. This is in most currency pairs, in many currency pairs. Okay, so for example, if you are trading 1 standard lot of Euro USD, let's use Euro USD, that is one of the standard currency that have this exact calculation. All right, so if you're trading 1 standard lot on Euro USD and the price moves by just 1 pip, you will earn or lose $10, depending on if it goes in your direction or not. So it's also important to know that pip calculations vary depending on the currency pair you are trading. For example, for cross-currency pairs such as Euro GBP, let's just open Euro GBP real quick. So for cross-currency pairs such as Euro GBP, the pip is calculated differently than for pairs involving the USD. So then in JPY pairs, as mentioned earlier, the pip is calculated differently using the second decimal point. So understanding these small differences will help you when trading non-USD pairs or when calculating your risk and reward across multiple currency pairs. Okay, now let's get to the real world example that I wanted to show you, okay, before we diverged into the whole pip and lot size issues. Okay, so now for Euro USD, if price should, for example, move from let's just say price moves from 1.300 to, let's just make this now, maybe it moves to 1.30. Okay, am I saying 1.3? Sorry, 1.1300 to 1.1350, for example. All right, so that means that we have a 50 pip movement. That means we have a 50 pips movement, right? Then for USD JPY, if price should move from this 140.00 to 140.50, this is a 50 pip movement. Okay, so these examples show how pips work in real time and help you see how these small movements can add up over multiple trades. So if you want to enter a trade, maybe you're entering a buy trade around here and you want to calculate your stop loss, you should know that the number of pips and the lot size you're using is going to determine how much you are risking. So here we have about 775 points or 750 points. Remember that 1 pip is equal to 10 points. Okay, so here If you look down here, you're going to see 750. That place that's showing 750. So we have 750 point, meaning 75 pips. All right. So for 75 pips, since one standard lot is equal to $10, one pip, I mean, one pip in a standard lot is equal to $10. It means if you are using one standard lot and you are risking 75 pips, it means 75 times 10. That means you're going to be risking $750 if you're using one standard lot and you are risking 75 pips. If you are risking, if you're using a lot size of 0.1, that is a mini lot. If you're using a mini lot, what you're going to be risking for 75 pips is going to be times 1. So you're going to be risking $75. If you're using a micro lot for 75 pips, it means what you're going to be risking is 75 times 0.1. So you're going to be risking $7.5. So these calculations are going to help you to know how much you are risking and how much you are potentially going to make. Because the same way you're calculating your risk, your stop loss level, is the same way you're going to calculate your take profit level. So if you are risking 75 pips and maybe your potential profit target is about 220 pips away, all right? If it's 220 pips away, it means if you are using one standard lot, 220 times 10, it means your potential profit is going to be about $2,200. If you are using mini lot, it's going to be $220. If you are using micro lot, it's going to be $22, right? 220 pips times 1. This is for mini lot. 220 times 0.1. This is for micro lot. Okay, so that is all for this video on how to calculate pips in MetaTrader 4 and MetaTrader 5. As you can see, it's a pretty straightforward process once you understand the basics. Calculating pips is essential for managing risk, determining trade size, and setting your take profits and stop losses. I hope this video helped clarify any confusion around pip calculation for you. If you found it useful, don't forget to like and subscribe for more trading tips, tutorials, and strategies. Thank you for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.